Hi guys, I'm Autumn Hawkins with Lowkey R&B, and today I'm here with Journey Montana. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. We were just talking off camera, like we're not too far from each other. She's over in New York and I'm in Jersey, so
Right
we
there.
basically cousins now.
Right.
Right there. So I just want to get started with your musical journey. You just dropped a new project, but I just want to know, how did you get started in music?
Well, my mom and dad have both been in the music industry for like longer than I've been alive at this point. So they met, he's a singer and she has done, anything you could think of in the music industry. And yeah, so I was born and I grew up around my mom working with like Neo and Jordan Sparks and Fantasia and all sorts of people like that. I grew up really closely with them. Like I was literally like Neo's date to like the Princess and the Frog thing. Like I grew up really
Oh,
close,
really?
like in the studio with a lot of artists and seeing how they work and stuff. And I feel like because my dad was a singer, everybody kind of expected me to do music, but then I naturally kind of just took to it. Um which was cool, excuse me. Yeah, so then I was just doing like plays and stuff in school um and then I started taking it more serious and started doing like covers online, and I was very consistent about that. That was like a very consistent thing. If you knew Journey, you knew that she sang. And then I was reached out to by a girl group. I went to high school in Atlanta, so when I was living in Atlanta, a girl reached out to me. I joined the girl group when I was like in eighth, ninth grade. That kind of introduced me to like the whole recording process, and I started getting more comfortable writing because I had only like written like by myself. Started getting more comfortable writing, and then we got a distribution situation with Streamcut, and then that kind of transitioned me into my own writing stuff because they noticed I was writing, so then they pulled me out to like write for other artists. And then I did that for a while, and then when I was like in my senior year of high school, I dropped my first song, and then yeah,
Oh,
been going ever
wow.
since.
Wow. No, that's amazing. How was it, like, transforming between like being in a girls group and then doing your own music?
It was an interesting transition, but I do feel like it was necessary. I
Mhm.
learned so much being in that group, and I remember before the group, I had only been in the studio one time, and I
Okay.
left in tears because I was like, "This shit is hard." Like, so, um, being with the girl group and having other girls to like lean on, and we're all figuring it out together was really helpful, and I think like vital to my journey as an artist. Like to have that crutch to like lean on them and learn from them and soak up how they how they had their process, because I was a replacement, so these girls had already been doing it for a few years before me,
Okay.
so I just got to learn a lot. And as I got comfortable, it really was like riding a bike. Like as soon as I got comfortable riding, I was riding everything, and it was just it got me like on my feet. So it was a weird transition, like going into doing my own stuff. But I do think because I transitioned into writing first,
Mhm.
it did help. Like it wasn't like immediately, okay, now lights all on you. It was like, okay, we think you're dope. We're gonna test you over here. We're gonna try you over here. I was like 14 writing for like 22-year-olds. And it was
Wow.
I was doing that for a while. And I do feel like it humbled me. It like helped me learn how to play the back position and, just help out. Yeah, I think all of that is very like vital to my journey. I learned so much from the girl group to the songwriting, and then even just like testing out my own music when I first started. Like it's all just that whole experience and point in my life is really near and dear to me. It's yeah.
Oh, I love that. Like, I obviously I love writing. I'm a journalist, so I think it's just like, it's the backbone, like you said, to everything, like art,
Hmm.
like you have to write down an idea, you just have to. And I really do enjoy your songwriting, so we'll get into that a little bit later as well. But So you also starred in All American. So how did you go how did that intertwine with your music journey as well?
Yeah, so I have been acting for a long time, auditioning for a long time. I did some voiceover work when I was younger. A lot of people don't know that, like, before All American, people really just knew me for my music, but I've been studying acting and really been in training for a long time. I love acting, and it's so funny what you were saying about me being a dancer. I booked it, and I just have my regular agent where I audition as like just any other actress. They don't know me for my music. They wouldn't know that I'm a singer. It's not like through my
Mhm.
management or anything. So, I auditioned, I booked it regular, and I get on set and then like, they're like, "Oh, you're like a singer, somebody knows my music." And then they like are blasting it on set. It was so crazy. And then
Oh.
the writer was like, "Dang, like maybe I can like change your character into a singer." Like it was like a thing. Like they're like, "Shoot, like we should have made you a singer." And,
Oh.
yeah, it was like a whole thing because they were like, "Oh my gosh, like, her music is actually really good," and, yeah, I
Mhm.
remember Sam was even, like, going crazy, and they, like, sent a video to, like, the executive producer, like, "Her music is crazy," like, it was, like, a whole thing. Oh, I love them, but
Oh
yeah.
my god. Oh my god, I love that. That is such a good show, and, like, you did such a good job. I feel like you had a difficult character that you played too, so, like, kudos to you for being able to do all of that.
Oh,
That was
thank
a
you.
hard character. So, I wanna talk about, bad decisions, and that was just, like I remember hearing it on TikTok, and it went viral. You got, like, almost 3 million views for that, so congrats to you, that's amazing. How did you feel when you saw, like, everyone using your video like, sorry, using your song for their videos?
Um it was a weird feeling. I had never really had a song that people were, like, making videos to that was, like, kind of foreign to me. Like, you're promoting on
Mhm.
TikTok, but, like, the only people who are really making videos to it are, like, your friends and your mom. So, like, when it's, like, baddies making, like, videos to it and you're not even asking them to, like, it's just random people. It's like, "Oh my gosh, like, what's happening?" So, I remember I was just really excited. I loved the song and I knew that it was gonna do something. Like I loved the feeling that I had about the song also.
Mhm.
Because I just had such a good feeling about it. And I was just like, yo, if I was a girl, I would mess with this song. Like I would think this is fire. Like I mean, if I was like an outside girl, I am a girl. But like if I was like a
Yeah.
girl, I would be like
Mhm.
fire. Like I would add to my playlist. So, to see people actually doing what like I was feeling like they would. It was just a crazy feeling. I was really excited and to see how it grew, and then it grew. So
Yeah, I that song is literally on my car playlist. I love listening to it while I'm driving.
yeah.
So, I know, I love that song so much. So I can totally get why everyone was using it for their videos and stuff like that. Um, so back with your songwriting too, like, I know on TikTok you do a lot of sometimes you do, like, a lot of challenges for yourself, like, using like, people would give you, like, a word in the comments, and you would come up with a song like that. So how does that, so how do you find yourself with doing those challenges? Like, is something you just, like, came up with that you wanted to try? Do you still like doing them?
Yeah, well, I came across this girl who was doing them, and I was like, "Oh, this is so cool," because I really feel like my pen and the way that I write is
Mhm.
a huge asset to me, and, it's something that I built up like a muscle, especially when I was, like, songwriting a lot in the past, so, like, I feel like writing is a really big piece of me, and it was just like, how do I share that with people? And then I came across a girl doing that, and I was like, oh, this is dope. Like I could just make this my own, and just ideas. It's a challenge. I was like, let me just see the challenge, see how I can do it, and the first
Mhm.
song that I tried with it was Rich Girl, and then it went viral, and I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. But yeah, I really was just, trying to show people my pen and like the songs that they love. Like I'm writing all by myself, like,
Mhm.
yeah, just trying to highlight that.
No, I love that. Like, I think those exercises, like, it has to be hard to do. Like, just using a word and you're just like making like a melody with it. Like, all these, girl.
I was struggling that first time with like it's just so much because like it's already hard if you're just in your room,
Hmm.
but then you're like filming it. So it's just like the edit process and you have to do it where it makes sense and you're not destroying your storage with like 50-minute videos. Like you know what I mean? Like you have to like really be diligent about that. But I think as I did it like a second and a third time, I really came up with like a process to knock it out. But that first time, girl, I was sweating. I was like, how I was like, what is going on?
No, but you did a great job. So, like, I know the first time is always going to be a little bit more difficult, but you played it off, but did not know. I want to start talking about, your new EP, Stargirl. So, what is your favorite song off of there? You have 8 tracks on there. Which one is your favorite, if you have one?
Oh, it changes so much.
Oh,
I would say today, undefeated. Yesterday, I
okay.
might have let it go, but today, undefeated, featuring Eric Bellinger. That's the song of the day. Yeah.
I loved that one too. And I think like you talked about like, like writing for other artists and then you got to work with, Eric Bellinger for this track. So how was it like working with him?
So me and Eric actually did when we okay, so it's like a funny story with like me and Eric's whole journey. Like it's such a full circle moment. I've been listening to him
Oh.
since I was a little girl. I love, 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 love him. And I remember
Mm-hmm.
I was at this Diddy party when I was about 16, 17, very young, just out of place at this Diddy party a few years back. And I remember he was coming into the party and I like stopped him and I was like, "Oh, like I love you. Can we take a picture? Like we're gonna work together one day." And he was like, "Yeah, girl, I know that's right." And now fast forward to this year, we happen to have the same manager. Um,
Nice.
so I like as soon as I realized that we did, I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" Like to the manager, like I love him. Please, can we set anything up? And
Oh.
so we wrote a song together separately that was just for me. We just co-wrote together, which was like I don't really co-write with people often nowadays. So it was just like
Mhm.
thing to work with him in an intimate space like that and soak up like his guidance and just see his process. And he vocal produced me a lot with the other song. And it's still one of my favorite songs. It'll probably drop soon, but we worked on that song. And then Undefeated is genuinely one of my favorite songs. I really didn't know what to do with it. I had been sitting on it for a while. And
Mhm.
the song and he was like, I'll hop on it. And I was like, you're funny. Yeah. Funny joke. Like, no, I'll hop on it, bro. He said the verse the same day. I was like, are you kidding me? So
Wow.
love, love,
Oh
love.
my.
Shout out to
Oh
him.
my God. I love full circle moments. I love that for you. I really do. He's such a talented artist. So definitely one of my faves as well. So I love that. And you had a music video for Undefeated too. Do you plan on having more visuals for the project? My AirPod.
Oh.
Let it go.
Um,
Sorry, I'll ask the question over. So you had a music video for Undefeated with Eric Ballinger, which you starred in as well. So do you plan on having any more visuals for the songs on your project?
yes, I do actually. I just got a video back last night that's about to drop. And
Oh.
we're working on shooting another one of the videos that I've been so excited to shoot. Um, so yeah, we just had the call for that also yesterday for one of the songs, and I just received the final edit for a music video last night. So I'm excited. Yeah, the visuals are gonna go crazy. I have 2 more to shoot, and then we've touched on every song. And then, some of them are more visualizers, so
Mhm.
depending on how things go, we may circle back. But um, yeah, and my cat.
Aw.
um, but yeah, I got the final edit back for one of my favorites last night, so I'm really excited for that. Yeah.
Oh yes, I love a visual. So I think that is gonna go as well, just like the records on your album. So I can't wait to see that. What do you think was like the hardest record to record on your album? If anywhere hard.
The hardest record to record. Hmm. So I was just thinking.
Yeah.
Um, I might say two. Two of the
Okay.
songs kind of had difficulty in like their own way because I'm definitely the type of artist at this point where like I'll hear a beat and just go in the booth and not come out and then it'll be done by the time I come out.
Oh.
So most songs were made like that, where like just recorded it almost like in like a singer freestyle format, because like not necessarily styling, but just going just going through it. So I feel like the only two that kind of were a little bit more meticulous were like Only Have Eyes for You and Stargirl.
Mm.
I say Only Have Eyes for You because that was based off of, so I'm a big like Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. I know everybody was, but I'm a
So
really big Buffy
cute.
the Vampire Slayer fan, and I like grew up watching her and watching that show like religiously. So there's this one episode called I Only Have Eyes for You. It's one of my favorite episodes.
Mm.
And it's just like this whole thing where like her ex-boyfriend turned bad. It's kind of like a metaphor on like day to day, like how it is in real life. Her boyfriend's like
Mm.
a vampire and they have like intercourse for the first time and like she loses her virginity to him and then it makes him lose his soul, which is like a funny
Mm.
play on like how it goes in real life. And so he like loses
Mm.
his soul and he turns into like the bad guy of the show. He goes from like the love interest to the bad guy. And then in this episode they get like possessed and like have this whole love story happen and it's like this whole dramatic scene. And the song that's playing is by the Flamingos, I Only Have Eyes for You. And so I don't know, it's just like a whole moment. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I have to. Like this moment, this episode, this song, this whole thing just speaks to me so much. So I really put a lot of thought into making that song, and even with the vocal production, um I really was specific with how I wanted it to sound. I got a little bit out of my comfort zone and out of my normal like habits with things that I do with my voice, like what I was immediately going to do with my voice. I was like, let me not. And it was like my booty cheeks. It was kind of hard, but I was trying to get out of my zone with the way that I approached the song. So that was a little meticulous. Like that was a little hard. Um, with me just like trying, like, you just naturally walk a certain way and then you're like trying to force
Yeah.
your walk a different way. So, or
Mhm.
like right-handed and trying to write with your left hand. It's just like it was like that.
Yeah.
So, that was a little bit tricky. And then Stargirl, we took a lot of time with the production. The production was like a really big thing for me. I recorded the song originally with just synths, like just through the whole song. It sounded like
Mhm.
a weekend throwaway, like it was just synths through the whole song. And so I recorded the whole song straight, and then I loved it. I still might do like a uncut, like a stripped down version.
That'd be
But
cool.
I still love that version. And then I listened to it in the car. I was like, it needs something. We went back in the studio. We added some like trap Atlanta beats to it, and then we made some
Mhm.
space, and then we just went in on that song for hours, hours, hours. Had like the longest session ever for just production. Like I didn't record a thing. It was just
Oh.
production. So we just sat there. It was really me being annoying, but I was just like, not in that note. Like literally to everything. We were just I was it was really, really meticulous. And we have about six versions of that song, honestly.
Wow.
But honestly, that came out one of my favorite songs. So yeah, both of those actually. But yeah, I think those are the most like tricky, looking back. But I'm grateful for the time that I took on it. I think it was necessary.
Yeah, it was definitely worth it. It definitely like paid off too. Like I can now like you explaining it and I'm thinking about the song in my head, I could see it. So, you did what you had to do and it came out. So
Period.
Right. So we spoke about like you working with Eric Bellinger. So is there any other artists that you would like to either, sing with or co-write with in the future?
Yeah, Nija is a really dope artist and songwriter. Destin Conrad is one of my favorites right now. Um,
Yeah.
Ombre, me and her have been cool for a minute and she's killing it, but she's an amazing songwriter, but we know this. Um,
Yes.
SZA has been top of my list for about 6 years now. She's still there. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, there's so many. I mean, SZA and Drake have been like my favorite artists. I'm a really big fan of like the uniqueness and like how specific their pen is. Like it's really unique to them. And even like with Drake, I feel like I can tell when it's him writing a song or when it's his writers writing a song. Because
Mm-hmm.
his pen is like so distinct to him. It's like a fingerprint. And I feel the same way for SZA. Like nobody could really write a song the way that she does. Um
Yeah.
yeah, Leon Thomas is another one of my favorites. I'm a big fan of him. I love to get my
Mhm.
hands on his I love but Victoria Monet is another one, another amazing, amazing
Yes.
writer. Um yeah, there's so many, but those are just like my favorites that like I would just throw out there into the universe. Because
Yes.
I think I'm definitely in a place where I want to collaborate more. I don't
Mhm.
necessarily collaborate a lot with songwriters, but I would like to.
Mhm.
So yeah, just getting to that place. Yeah.
I love that. Those are all, girl, we got this. I feel like we have the same playlist going. Those are literally all my favorite ones too. I love all of those artists.
Oh,
Amazing. And like with the songwriting too, especially with SZA, Drake, like you can tell when he writes something, you could tell when SZA writes something. No one can write snooze. Like that was really SZA. And obviously Leon Thomas helped
yeah.
on that too. And I believe Babyface as well with the production. But like the pen was all her. Like, and you can tell. So, and I like when, she was really talking, like, she was basically talking her shit, like, on the title track. She was like, ain't no writers, that's just me.
Okay.
Yes, like, I love that. So, and I also like that, and you could tell with your writing how much you care about songwriting too. Cause, like, not only, like I said, like, with Bad Decisions, it's like super catchy and stuff. But, like, when you're listening to the lyrics, like, they actually make sense. Sometimes, you have a good song, but it doesn't like actually make sense?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm just telling you. It sounds good.
Thank you.
Um, you're welcome. So, what did you learn about yourself when creating your newest project, Stargirl?
Yeah, I learned a lot about myself. I feel like sometimes when I'm writing music, it's like a therapy session or whatever, like I'm just letting it out and I can't really see what it is until I take a step back and like listen to it. Like I'll go in
Mhm.
the studio, hear a beat, it'll call to me and then I'll just, you know, say what I'm feeling and then I'll like take a step back and be like, dang, like that's what that means. Like I won't even really get my punchline. I won't even understand how what I'm saying is intertwined, like from beginning to end, until I really like take a step back and like look at it. Like it's like I'm just
Mhm.
like painting like a canvas, and then I like take a step back and I'm like, damn, like that's actually kind of neat, you know. So there was a lot of that with this project. I feel like, especially with
Mhm.
songs like "Let It Go," I didn't even realize really what it was about until I like heard it in its like from beginning to end. Because I don't really
Mhm.
like I said, I'll just hear the beat and then go in the booth and just go through the song. So
Mhm.
there was a lot of that, and I feel like Stargirl in itself, I have it tatted on me. That
Oh
whole
no.
name, it means a lot to me and it has a lot of weight. You know, I feel like this project represents like my 19th year. There was a lot of
Mhm.
changes. That was when Bad Decisions came out and I was kind of being introduced into like the nightlife and the chaos, and I was dealing with a breakup and you know actually finding myself because I had been in a relationship straight out of high school,
Oh
and
wow.
we were together for like 2 years, so I didn't really have time or like space to like see who I was as an adult, like outside of high school. So I was in
Yeah.
that for the first time. And it was just like, it was just a lot going on, like dealing with my career, dealing with guys that I'm talking to, dealing with, expectations, dealing with like loneliness and, that whole thing where it's like being surrounded by people, but nobody's asked you how you're feeling or how your day is. And,
Mhm.
there were moments like that. So, and I didn't even really realize how much it affected me until I like heard it in my music and like caught myself putting it in a song. Because I feel like a lot of my music is subconscious.
Mhm.
It's not conscious things that I'm like, "Ooh, I'm gonna," it's subconscious. So there was a lot of self-reflection like, damn, like this is really how I'm feeling in like every aspect. Like in a song like Rivals, New York, it can be pretty territorial and competitive when it comes to music. And, that's not something that
Mhm.
I think about on a daily basis, but that was another subconscious song that I kind of just went in the booth and I didn't realize that it was such a thing for me. Like, me
Mhm.
subconsciously being like, let me talk my shit real quick. Like, nothing
Yeah.
for me. And that's not something
Exactly.
and thinking on consciously like every day, but it's a subconscious thing again. So it was a lot of like self-reflection and me figuring out who I was, like looking in a mirror and it almost felt like I was reading back my own diary, so yeah, that's it was a lot of self-reflection. It was a lot of like looking in the mirror and really like seeing myself from further back. Yeah.
I like that. So there's a basically like Stargirl is like you reflecting on yourself and like you really taking a deep dive into like your life and your struggles. And then all of that stuff just, resonates with your audience. Like anyone can take that and be like, wow, I like as you were talking, I'm just like, wow, I felt that way. I've gone through this, like it's very, very relatable. So yeah, that's what I really like about this album. And lastly, I just want to know where can we keep up with you and find out about all your music, and we're gonna look ahead for those visuals and those music videos coming soon. Yes.
Um, you can follow me on Instagram, on Spotify, on TikTok at Journey Montana. TikTok is Journey Montana too. But
Okay.
yeah, follow me on Spotify, and you'll be notified when I drop. Subscribe to YouTube. That's where I'm dropping my visuals and my visualizers and my music videos, which are on the way. And yeah, I mean, I post pretty consistent updates on Instagram if you're into that sort of thing. I also have my TikTok and Twitter is Journey Montana. Yeah, Journey Montana on everything. Tune in.
Yeah.
No, now you know.
Yes, I cannot wait to see those visuals and see everything else that you have coming up for you for the next year. So
Thank
I
you.
cannot wait. It
Yes,
was so
so
nice talking to you.
yeah, it was so nice talking to you too. Thank you for having me. Thank you for thinking of me.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.